Hey everyone, Peshmore here and welcome to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah, good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Ryan Higa? Is that you? Or is it his friend Sean? I wonder if they see each other. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina! Yeah, Regina. How fabulous! My sweetie pie! My sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did! Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Sure, that's all you're doing. Mo said that? So what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess. You'll fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on. Or even where she is. Or she really knows. And wants to put you in jail. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. See you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different. Don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning to you, laddie. My name is Jacksepticeye. Okay, I'm sorry. Whenever I see top of the morning, I just think of that. It flashbangs me, okay? It's like whenever I see the word theory, and then I say game theory. Yeah. The brain rot is real, even before the term brain rot has been coined. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo? Top of the morning to ya, governor. Top of the morning to ya, laddie. My name is Jacksepticeye and welcome to Phoenix Wright. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early worm gets the worm, but then again, worms like higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. I hope you're not lactose intolerant. Oh my, thanks. See how you are. So how are you today, right? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm gonna face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. Oh yeah, that's what acrobats do, yeah. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you gonna do then, Nick? Guess today we'll have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today, we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll ever get past Acro and the truth. Why do we have this in our evidence? I don't think we're gonna win. You're right. But it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to our father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. You can blame the father for that, really. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. Well, I thought I'd become one on, YouTube. But I'm probably gonna retire before I even hit 50. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Nah, he's in jail already. Or is he dead? Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise his previous theory of events. Okay. Stay in the box, come on. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness. Or should I say, a new eyewitness. What's the difference? One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. Order! Order! I have a feeling something like that would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detectives stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. Or should I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. There. Hello. How did the birds get in? I mean, they're not really harmful. It's not like a fucking whip or a kid's camera. So, it's fine. Ding-a-ling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Very Big Circus. Where were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you please tell us what you witnessed? Okay. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with what the clown saw. If that's the case, there's very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the night into the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine this guy. Skip. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend. How dare you invoke his name? Bitch. And you know what? I say the word bitch a lot. You're not a bitch. You're a cunt. Just like your old friend Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Just in case. You said that you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you had the lights off in your room, right? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright, sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. You need curtains, man. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? I never really thought of that. I guess that means I am off to buy some curtains. Yeah, you need some curtains for real, man. You know I'm on the 3rd floor, and I keep it closed for 2 reasons. Because of the moonlight, and because I'm afraid that when I look out of the window at night, I might see something I shouldn't see. I shouldn't be seeing, you know? Like there, is like looking back at me. Shit, now I'm scared to go take a piss. Whatever. Why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why? Oh no. Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Ow! The witness will proceed with his testimony. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed? That's correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside. I was indeed. Pressing acro doesn't seem to get results. Huh. But maybe something was contradictory in what he said just now. I'll just say nothing wrong for now. Okay. Need evidence. Maybe in the later statements. Are you sure it was a human being? Could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure. Huh. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth, and only the truth. Just as we were there with you that night. I believe it was a human. Damn it! I just strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts. I don't think so. Whatever, let's see where this goes. Okay, huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction... Okay. Huh. What if it's this? Well, it's not. Oh, time to move on then. The lights in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside the window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses in the front. Did you see anything of the other symbols? Yes. The hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press them, the less results I seem to get. Whatever, let's see. There's a huge contradiction, yeah, blah 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 blah. Where's the bust? Okay, I guess not. Yeah. When did you start thinking that you saw, that what you saw wasn't a dream? That's not important. I believe the prosecution has done a bit of maintenance on the witness's memory. Just to make sure, let's ask the witness. Ow! Objection. Sustained. Don't sustain that! Acro must be lying about what he saw, right? Of course he is. Now the challenge will be to expose his lies in court. I'll put the pedal to the metal, Nick. Okay. Is that correct? You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. Wow, that's a bit insensitive, ain't it? He's on a fucking wheelchair, and this is what you're doing? This is what you're saying? Come on, man. That would have been quite difficult considering the state I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me. Shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has two silk hats? Nope. This is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand. Fibbing? Who says that, man? Order! Order! As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouths before thinking. I'm sorry, it took me like half an hour before I looked on the guide. Sorry, by the way. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? I don't know. I'm just gonna save just in case. He has a grudge? No, he's a culprit? Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? I mean, he didn't do this any other occasion. Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Murder. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. Hey, you're the one with the whip. You'll be a perfect lion tamer. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's heart and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? Pretty sure it is. If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. What? What? He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. Yeah. I don't think he needs to stand up for himself. He's staying rather calm and collected. That's pretty adorable. Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation? I don't really need to say a thing, right? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. True. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things? See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. Phoenix is a poopy head. Yeah, not wrong. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. This game is anything but little. I got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Did he have an accomplice? Now then, this must be when we hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, bitch. What? You're not gonna sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There's no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Somehow. Order. Order! What the hell? What are you getting at? Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm going to have to prove how this all fits together. Have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I know what I can't do. I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop, I'm doomed. Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, where exactly was Mr. Dingaling? Who's Mr. Dingaling again? He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room. Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. Are you nuts? Yes. Him and me. What are you saying, Mr. Dingling? What say you, Mr. Dingling? It's an interesting theory. An interesting game theory. Thanks for watching. That's it? Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yeah, that's it. Oh please. It was somehow proved that Sans was Ness. And it got a lot of hate for it, sure. But at the same time, you know, it's hard to disprove it. Actually, it's very easy to disprove. But still. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer. Got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. This music means I'm gonna have to pick something. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Shit, now I'm seeing it too. What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of action. Wait, that's the next course of this legal buffet. Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here... She's right. Can't mess up here. Gotta give this some serious thought. Sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. And he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it. Well, time to shine. Okay, I'm gonna present some evidence. So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the murder against... yeah. Okay. Is that the correct answer? What's that? A picture? It is indeed. The problem is what is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust? It's quite a large bust, and because it's life-sized, it's also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Yeah. Got that jawline? See, this is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust, the statue, not his tits. I'm clarifying it to myself. Order. Order! So you're saying the bust fell on the ringmaster? How about a simple crime? Even if he were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible! When you're sitting down, you can lift heavier things. That's why people can shoulder press more weight when they're sitting down as opposed to like doing the shoulder press standing up. Well, Acro is an acrobat. Have you seen the weights in his room? God damn, I wish I had that. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like that bust. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? Well, time to stand up for myself. Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro. You can't run away. God damn. I'd watch what I'd say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yeah. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand we get proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say? Von Karma. He's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There is absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond. The defense's objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? I don't know, man. He's old. Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. I don't know what the difference is. The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. This will sink to any load to win a case. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have upper body strength. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. Muri Janai. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I have no doubts in regard to this witness's testimony. It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention, he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What about you, Mr. Wright? I still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. Can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Have you ever lifted up the bust before? No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? Can't let money outdo me on this. Oh, Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bust before? Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling. Well, that was pointless. So what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope. You don't say. But no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick. Whoa. How did this discussion turn to me all of a sudden? I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. Do you know how strong the average bear is? And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown that bust out of the window. How long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some intensive rehabilitation, but it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, it would not have been able to see out of below the window. Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there was no way I would know the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you got a point. Hey, Nick? Huh? What if you turned things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust. Oh, like pre-aiming. That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow that Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. If all I had to do was drop it, you're right, I could have done that. However, there was no way I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright? Yeah, that's what a lot of people said to MatPat when he said that Sans was Ness from Earthbound. I mean, okay, he got more than, you know, a slap on the wrist. He got a lot of outrage for that. Acro was strong enough to lift up the bust. The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head. I wonder if he could have used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster. That's the ticket, Nick! Show them what you got! I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly with the case. I don't remember us finding any sort of tool, but maybe we overlooked something. Acro, you didn't really need to lean out of the window, right? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was gonna be. Quite precisely, I may add. You silly hinting at Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What do you mean? Wait, hold on, let me read this. Nope, I still don't know how. Enough stalling! How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Oh, come on. Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over? The same. The question is, who placed the box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already at the scene of the crime. I have to admit, that theory makes a lot of sense. That's also my reaction to the Santa's Nest from Earthbound theory. The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the moment the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box for some reason. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean, if the bust were to fall on the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No! Order! This is unbelievable! Finally, some of the loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now we just gotta keep going. And there's only one way from here. To go from here. Forward. So the next question I have is, who placed the wooden box at the scene? Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and all he had to do was lower it down. Allow me to whip some sense into you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. You recall what was inside the box? Only a small bottle of pepper, right? Get on with it. Well... What's the matter? Can't go your tongue? I don't see any relationship between the location of his head and the box's contents. I think I might have outthought myself. No, Nick, you didn't think enough! Mr. Wright, do you still maintain the box had... Ah, shit. The weight? The box had a remarkable weight. Weight? According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required... Oh, I see! One would have to squat down, then lift it up with their whole body, wouldn't you say? That's exactly what I'm trying to say. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles on each side, right? Correct. To lift up the box, you have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would have to be in approximately the same place. Fool! Fool? Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? You know, I just realized that, actually, never mind. I was gonna say something about Polly the parrot and these birds and court, but heard about what you had to say. Huh? I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? Of course I remember. On the top of the table in the cafeteria. Then what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. That means... You understand what I mean, right? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. But how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room? You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria. Yep, definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. Got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria to his room? I was right? A monkey? Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring. Still creeped out by that, by the way. So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. Home? Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room? But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometime and read the court record. My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. What does the court record say about the bust anyway? It didn't say anything. Yep. And they're made from platinum, which is very shiny. Wow, what? Yeah. Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? Holy shit. What? It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate. I said order! Miss Von Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait. Did you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? Yeah, it's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Yeah, I remember seeing a tuba in there or something. What if he just dropped that thing? Would have been a completely different case. I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron! Are you saying that to yourself, or Phoenix? Or Acro? Mr. Wright's argument was so circular. I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. You don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. I'm not any attorney. I'm an ace attorney. But he's an attorney for a magician, so I guess in this case he's an attorney of the arcane. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And that is... you should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Oh. There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. True. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? With saving. Nick! Don't let her beat you now! No, I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were 2 people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? Am I right? He saw Max's bow! I asked who was the other person most saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frère. I don't know how to say that. Ferrari? Oh, whatever. Oh. Au contraire, mon frère. Fuck it. Fuck French, man. Or is this Spanish? I don't know. I'm not even good at the one language I know, which is English. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo saw that night was Max's bust. The statue, not the tits. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you can't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards of the bust. Yeah. Baka! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? Doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree? Don't! He got me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? Fool! Him? Hey, I tried everyone else, okay? It didn't work for them. You're saying that it was the victim himself? That's what I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust? Placed the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick? Do you really have a handle on all this?
I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together, I think. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alrighty then. So you wanna know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Let's go back. Back to the past. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to a bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Oh. Now this is where the magic happens. At the very instant the bust hit the victim, how did it have the fucking hat though? Oh wait, no, I shouldn't swear that much. Sorry. How did he have the goddamn hat though? You would just wait a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this isn't true. It can't be. How do you know? It's still a little early to get so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. What? Oh yeah, it's part of the bust, yeah. Oh, okay, I see. Now, okay, that makes a bit of sense. The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. The impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. The witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls, the clown. When Moe looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged on the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea Max saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it, primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see anything out of the window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. And that's how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, could have only been you. Acro's has been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter: the power of evidence and the power of my whip. And the power of saving. Don't forget, the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? Nick, they want to see some evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method, but there is still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness case. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. That's enough talk amongst yourself. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. The problem is Max has 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I presented explains all these contradictions. You fool, do you ever shut up? Only when I'm proven wrong. Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday? He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat, kinda. Fine, you've got one. But then what about the other? The other contradiction? Remember what the ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night, but the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try to explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? I hope so. Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the incident where the cloak snagged on the bust. If the cloak snagged on the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Yeah. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Order. Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Or not. Well, so much for that theory. The game theory. Thanks for watching. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, right? Well, yeah, I did. Something making you think I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why you're thinking off track. Why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubt There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the master. Yeah, the ringmaster. Acro's motive, huh? It seems that the case isn't quite over yet. Very well. However, I feel like this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, right? It definitely is! And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus! Am I that hated? Ahem. Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did? Psst. But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know. But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Hey, pal! You're gonna ignore me after I went through all this trouble to bring you some evidence? Ah, Detective Gumshoe! Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyway. Not wrong. Now, Detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? Got some really tasty milk. How about a car trip, Detective? Well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence you mentioned, what was it? Here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later. Is it here now? No? Okay. Won't Miss Von Karma be mad at you for doing this? That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on the need-to-know basis. We are not really allies or anything. But everything that happens in court up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know. Miss Von Karma doesn't seem to be in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set in motion. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me. Got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided till the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. What do you mean by that? The very end part? I don't know, man. It's all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Don't scare me like that! Seems like there was a large care package from the circus for the defendant. For me? It's milk. The receptionist area looks like... the reception area looks like some kind of dairy? So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me? Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you were left off. I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony. Finally, we're motive? Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro could kill the man he held in such esteem. You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, right? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Yes. The defense has the right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm getting immune to that expression. Oops. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. I'm not going to take that from you. Of all people. That's like being called fat by another fat guy. Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness. Oh, right, I already read this, right? Yeah. Wii? What do you mean, Wii? Nintendo Wii? Yes, my brother Sean and I. Is that his name? Some court record. You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents are very cruel, huh? Nowadays we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because they allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the Berry Big Circus. Wait, Berry Big Circus. Berry Big Circus. Okay. You can call it the BBC. I just realized, after all this time. Nick? The judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. He'd be a perfect judge for the X Factor. Ow! No crying in court. Let's keep going. The witness may proceed with the testimony. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about the other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know, he seems like a nice guy, which is what makes it so difficult. So how long have you been a performer? You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster till he finally agreed. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. Well, until now, or 6 months ago really. This was also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We call ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. It's nearly a household name, now and never will be. Unfortunately. I've even heard of them in Germany. Liar! The point is that I've wanted to be of some use to the circus. But truly a remarkable young man. This judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Yahoo! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? We have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony, or the heartfelt emotions contained within. You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Yahoo! No matter how hard you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking a victim's life. Exactly. I've been waiting for this, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to see it. I hate to say it, but I agree with them. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up looking like a jerk. I think that'll be enough for now. Wondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely. Exactly, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead. I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro wanted the ringmaster dead? Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have time to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Yow. Skip. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, "This is the real killer of Russellberry, ringmaster." If you want to jump to the end of things, then yeah, that sounds about right. The end of things? Acro. You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, right? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russellberry. What? Order. Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. What an order. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Yo! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Regina Berry? This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, right? Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. he can easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, "You're wrong." That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough, Mr. Wright. Allow me to... Yow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself! Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. Yeah, about that. Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Acro, you remember this, right? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the victim's tailcoat? Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled "To the Murderer." Its purpose is to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying he called Russell Berry with that note? Yeah, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean, it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order! Order! Mr. Wright! This little theory of yours! It's insane! Yes, like Sans beingness from Earthbound. This is like the fifth time I'm saying this. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. A game theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note? That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina. That's incredible! Remember the testimony Acro gave us earlier? Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza because he couldn't look down out of the window to see who it actually was. I got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza. And that's when he let the bust fly. I'm pretty sure it did the opposite of fly. Nick? Isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience? She is, unfortunately. It's only gonna get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Acro wrote this note to Regina?
Objection!
Phew! Skip. Hey, the game did it for me. Thanks. Very well, Mr. Wright. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yeah? What about it? If the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew that what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is the incident that is alluded to in this note? The incident 6 months ago. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I'm more than ready to show this quote what happened at the time. Moron. Are you sure that it relates to the present case? Yeah, it does indeed, Your Honor. By the way... Okay, yeah, it's here. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is gonna think I'm bluffing. Okay, that's what happens when you do the... What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. That was the right answer? What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away from him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion! Very well, Mr. Wright. What exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry killed someone with a bottle of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Fruit. Yeah, whatever. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? Who is this? That's Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically true. However, he's been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother's dead. Regina, she did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Regina, Miss Regina Berry, is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina would never do something like this. It's just not in her. So then what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. I see. Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Yeah, I'm gonna relate it to the thing about Matt Pat's theory with Sans and Ness. Okay, yeah. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? I mean, the game was alluding to it not being an accident, so... The lion biting Bat was no accident at all. What? You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat. That's just a scarf, Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, right? That's right. And who was the one who gave the scarf to Bat? Regina! Regina gave it to him. Regina! There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. What might that be? Pepper. I don't get it. I'm saving compulsively now. Pepper? Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident. And she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment and the bird? Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal. That sounds very gay, but not out of character. But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Barry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that? It still seems like the judge doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling? Smiling? The lion was smiling? Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling. Lions smile? I never heard of them smiling. However, lions sneeze? What? Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he really did was sneeze. Ooh, shit. Oh, man. That graphic. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf. What? You fool! You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma? I object for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? Yes. You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this incident. Or this joke, as you put it. Heartless biatch. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiots! It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me what I said was true? Acro? You can't mean witness? Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. What would the problem be? Sans is from Undertale and Ness is from Earthbound. The problem is evidence. If I dropped Max's bust on top of the Ringmaster, Where is the evidence that proves that claim? You mean the conclusive evidence? The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise. The murder weapon, the bust that the defense claims was used. If it were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes. Yes, it would be. The bust. Nick, you gotta do something! This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. The defense requests to search the room of the witness, Ken Dingling. Dingling. What is it now? It looks like you still haven't figured things out, have you? By now you must know the total meaning of von Karma total justice. You mean... Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday. What did you find? There's no reason to say it. If we found what you think if we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would never be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise, and we took Acro personally to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. It looks like you lack the final nail to put in my coffin. But what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Do something, Nick! Don't let this case slip away! The bust. Where is it now? Where is the bust right now? You're Phoenix Wright! Ace Attorney! You know where the bust is. I'm sure you do. There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? It seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short. Thank you for your support. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings this cross-examination to an end. Is this a bad ending? Oh. Maya again? Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue. Huh? What? We need time to do what? Ow! Why are you surprised? Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she? You already have a case to present, Mr. Wright. What? Why are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait! You can't be serious. Guys always have their lives on the line, right? That's how Acro lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tight rope. If we don't, we're certain to lose. Very well. The defense may proceed. I'm so nervous. What's going on? He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic. There's no room for a false step. Sink or swim. The only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bus now? It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. Acro? Sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off of your wheel? This sounds very gay, but okay. I'm sorry. I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you're a big guy and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Yeah, Because it seemed to be that it would be really easy to hide a bust under there. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma searched your room yesterday. If she found the murder weapon in your room, it would be all over. Which is why you had to hide it. And the only place you can hide it is up your ass. Under your wheelchair. Which is why I have to ask you again, would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. You fool! How could you... What? You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, 2 of them. 2? Miss Francisca Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were 2 pieces of decisive evidence. The cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak away in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust. Obviously I couldn't just throw it away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place I could hide it quickly was up my ass. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court, hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma. It all makes sense now. I can't believe that Miss Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. Uh-huh. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me, make a mistake. Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that. It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro? Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of the BBC? Mr. Russell Berry? Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for the crime. Acro. All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he teased her. One day my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back the same way. And that's when she covered the scarf with pepper. Oh! I don't think it was intentional. Ooh. I know she didn't mean anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely. Oh. That she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful. So are you saying that you're the victim in all this? No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. This is who I am. At first, I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just stand and I couldn't just up and leave. Just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet. This has been a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. I'm an idiot! I can't believe it! You beat me again! I believe this case is now beyond of any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. The court is now adjourned. You may be free from the murder charges, but good luck with the battery. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only at max, 1,000,000 of them. So, thank you. What's with the vibe in this room? We're just thinking about Acro. No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? It's been like this for a while now. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Oh, man.
Sweetie Pie! Bat and Acro, they're never coming back! Now everyone's gonna split up! Regina, Mr. Wright, tell me something.
What do you want to know, Regina?
Acro said something right at the end. Does that mean that Acro... is he gonna try and get his revenge on me?
I think that's his plan, but what can you do about it? You did some awfully bad things to him, Regina.
Alright, he won't ever forgive me, will he?
Yikes, it looks like I struck the final blow on Regina.
Poor Regina.
Hey Max.
What is it, Mo?
We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? That's the big question. Our ringmaster's really an amazing person, right? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone's sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I made the decision. What is it? I've decided I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus the world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen. Don't laugh. That's quite the goal.
Yay! I can't wait.
Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus in the world ever needs. The world has ever seen needs. Okay. The world's best illusionists. The world's best illusions. Which means the circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen. Max. Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Regina, you're still gonna help them out too, right? I don't know. Maybe the circus would do better off without me. What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to the court today? We've got to work together to make the BBC bigger than it's ever been. Yeah. Most right, Sweetie Pie. It can't be the BBC without Regina Berry. Max. Nick. It seems like everything is gonna turn out alright here. Everything is gonna turn out alright, yeah. I can't wait to see the best circus the world has ever seen. We'll save you the most fabulous seats. You better. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats. Yeah. Okay. I see. What made the case? Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off. just like you said it would. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it would end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. You mean Mr. Wright? Of course. Well, detective, my plane's about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth. What a twist! Hey, Miss Montgomery's on the newspaper. Because of her huge loss. Her huge L. Wait, what? Huh. Only 4 episodes, huh? Well, that's it for today's episode. Wow. Yep. Just decided to play both parts. You know, this is quite the sad case because no one did anything wrong. And to be honest, it's kind of reminiscent to the other case, right? With the Steel Samurai in the first game. Because he died by accident, right? It was manslaughter, right? If I remember right. In this case, it's more like wrong target because of manslaughter. Actually, I think the other one was also... Oh, whatever. But yeah. And the thing is, like... It was quite gruesome, huh? Yeah, Regina kinda caused it all by accident. And then because of that... Acro, who was a really nice dude... Who just wanted to pay his adoptive father back... You know, he saw his brother get mauled alive by a lion, which just sneezed. Dear God. You know, because the whole head was in there, I'm surprised that he didn't just die. Most people would just die. He's lucky to be in a coma. Because it would probably come clean off or burst the arteries or something. How is he still alive? But yeah, this innocent guy wanted to kill the daughter in the most gruesome way ever. By dropping a huge ass rock on her head. Good thing, you know, it's a good thing Regina's a dummy. Because if she wasn't, she'd be dead. And the father just had to be the hero. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, this case was pretty cool and interesting. Nice twists, though I saw some coming. Anyway, now this isn't related to the episode. It's just, where the hell have I been for the past month? I mean, I have uploaded videos of Angerfoot, but what took so long for Ace Attorney specifically? Well, Angerfoot was old footage, so, you know, it was easy to get. It was there, but, I mean, man, depression hit like a truck. It hit really, really hard, man. Because, you know, I dropped out of college. I don't have money to go do another one. You know, I'm trying to get a job, but you know how hard it is, right? So, yeah. And because, you know, I'm not exactly the best in the family, like objectively. I'm the only one without a degree. Out of my, you know, I have like 3 siblings, all of them have degrees. One of them has a family, yeah. Meanwhile, what am I doing, man? You know? Not succeeding, I can tell you that. So yeah, all those kinds of thoughts were really in my mind. Man, there were just some days where I just didn't even want to wake up. Oh man, those were the worst. And to be honest, I'm not even over it. I'm not over it. But I guess I have to take it one step at a time and start somewhere, right? Maybe this will help keep things out. Keep the bad thoughts out. I hope. Yeah, quite sad. Maybe one day things will get better. That day's not today, it's probably not tomorrow. The thing is, my life has been on a decline for the past 8 years or something. It's just been getting worse. That's, part of the reason why, I'm getting more, I used to be hopeful about things. I used to be hopeful, I used to believe in myself. Like, I believed I could get through college. I tried my absolute hardest and I couldn't. I believed the life would get better, and it didn't. The thing about hope is that it's a double-edged sword. It gives you strength and drive to do the things you need to do, or do the things you want to do. But if you're not strong enough, and if you fail, it can turn into despair. I really learned that the hard way, man. And it's not like I can really talk to anyone. I talked about it to my friends way too much, and I just get irrationally angry. I feel like I might be hurting them. So, yeah. Or, annoying them, hurting them, yeah. Just get irrationally angry. And, my family, oh, come on, man. They say that I'm a man and I need to man up. Well, I'm trying, not working. But, yeah. I'm too broke to see a therapist, okay? The only thing I can do is call a suicide hotline or something. Anyway, enough depressing talk. Or else it'll get me all riled up again. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for watching my playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And if you liked what you see, stay tuned and stay awesome. Good night.